Hi everyone, am I audible? Please,
Yes.
please respond in the chat. Can everyone hear me? Okay. We will wait for 5 minutes, then we will start the meeting. Hello everyone, welcome to AP trainings. Please everyone introduce yourself in the chat box like you are a working professional or student so that the trainer will teach you. It will be easy for the trainer to teach you. Please introduce yourself in the chat box, guys. Hi Jagan. Okay. Please everyone respond, like that will be helpful for the trainer, please. Yeah, we mostly have students in the call. Okay. Okay. One kind request, guys. Can everyone please stop your video? We don't need video for this. Please stop your video if you have opened. Hello, everyone. Thanks for your patience. We will start the meeting exactly in 2 minutes. Thanks for your patience, guys. We will start the meeting exactly in 2 minutes. Thank you. Hi everyone. Welcome all to AP Trainings. This is Vignesh from AP Trainings. A warm welcome to each and everyone who joined this masterclass. First of all, I'm going to give the introduction about the AP Trainings. The full form of AP Trainings is all professional trainings. We are providing training, all kind of training, especially in IT industry, electrical and electronics field. Take it industry itself, we are providing more than top 100 technologies in the world. We have already trained more than 1,000 students all over the world, especially in USA, European countries, and India. We are providing 3 type of trainings. The first one is Masterclass that you are attending now. The second one is Flash course, which is for 10 hours. And the final one is full course, which is in an average of 30 to 35 hours. Okay. So I will explain the webinar agenda, what we are going to cover today. The first one is students introduction, which is for 10 minutes. Students introduction, which is for 10 minutes. And then the masterclass content is for 45 minutes, in which the trainer will exclusively explain all the topics in the today's masterclass topic. Then 20 minutes for to ask queries regarding the masterclass. Then APT students guide. In that we will explain the teaching methodology we are using in our training institute, and APT offer session, which will give you 50 to 90% offers exclusively for the participants who join the masterclass today, which is followed by feedback session for 5 minutes, in which we will share the feedback link. The student should attend the masterclass fully and properly, and we want everyone to fill the feedback form completely to get the certificate. The certificate will be sent to your mail ID, which will take 1 week. Okay, so we will start with student introduction. I want everyone to introduce yourself in the chat box with your name, professional, like you're a student or working kind of thing, and your expectation in the master class. So that will help the trainer to take the class accordingly. Thanks, guys. We are waiting for your response. Please respond in the chat box, please. Thanks everyone. We are getting lots of response. Thanks, and I can see that most of them are student. It's happy to hear that. Okay. We will start the content in 3 to 5 minutes. Okay. We almost get the response from everyone. So Vignesh, we got mostly students here, mostly college students.
Yeah. Yes. Are you able to hear me?
Sorry, Vignesh, can you speak?
Yeah. Are you able to hear me?
Your voice is very low.
Hello.
No, it's still low.
Okay. Let me check.
In the masterclass, we will take a very basics of Angular. So the trainer will teach you the basics of Angular. It's like a starting.
Hello, Vignesh, is it fine now? Hello. Is it
No,
clear?
Vignesh, your voice is too low. Please, others, you also confirm whether Vignesh voice is slow or you can hear him properly. Can everyone confirm? Yeah, Vignesh, it's too low for.
Okay. Yeah, give me a minute. I will check it.
Yeah, most of them saying voice is too low. I guess trainer is facing some audio issues. He will come in 2 or 3 minutes.
Hello. Is it clear now?
Yeah, it's far better, but still low. But we can hear you, Vignesh.
Okay. If it's fine, we can start.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay. So, guys, we have a trainer whose name Vignesh, and he is having vast knowledge in Angular, and he will take the session for today. And whenever you got a doubt, you can ask him. And he has trained more than 100 students, and most of them work in MNC, and abroad. So you can ask any doubt in between regarding the session. If you have any doubt regarding course, you can ask later. Please ask questions regarding the topics. Okay. Thanks, Vignesh. You can carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm not audible or any issues, you can ping me.
Yeah,
You can,
surely.
yeah, tell me
Yeah.
because some internet issues, I guess.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, let me start.
You carry on. I will stop share. Yeah.
Yeah, hello all. Good evening. So today I will start with the session. So if my screen is visible, let me know once it's visible. I will share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, Vignesh.
Yeah, sure. Is it fine right now? The audio is okay, right?
Yeah, fine. Now fine. Yeah. Far better.
Okay, let me start with the presentation. So let's begin with Angular. So what is Angular? So I will also use my notepad. So Angular is nothing but a framework. It's a front-end framework. So in front-end, we will be using Angular as a JavaScript. On top of JavaScript, we will be using Angular to develop web applications, especially user interfaces. For example, you would have seen many sites like Netflix, Flipkart, Amazon. So like that, we can develop many applications using Angular in a simple way. And one more thing, as it indicates framework. So a framework in the sense, it will be having all the things, all the necessary features required to develop a web application. For example, we'll be having routing, or we'll be having some API for getting the response from the API. Will be having HTTP responses, and we will be also having testing and smartly dividing the app. So it will smartly divide the app into chunks of pieces, so that we can develop an application in efficient manner. For example, in a traditional application, you will be having a lot of issues, like sometimes your application gets hanged. If many users are using the same application, then we'll be facing some issues. So for all those issues, as it is a framework, it will be having solution for all. The only thing, if you're learning or if you're new to Angular, we have to know what are the available features in Angular, and we have to know how to and where to use it. So just we have to know all the features, and we have to know just the syntax of it. Then it will be a very easy tool to use. And one more specialty of Angular is SPA. So single page application, it will be helpful in creating single page application. Nowadays, most of the applications are single page applications. But if you see some traditional web applications, you are able to see, for a simple application, like if you're clicking a button, we have to render some data, or one or two data in an entire page. But what will happen in a traditional application, the entire page will get loaded. So you can see, for example, when an entire page is getting loaded, you will be able to see the refresh button automatically refreshing the entire page. But in the single page application, it will render that portion of the DOM in the sense that portion of the web page. So in browser, we'll be viewing the web page. So it will be we'll be having a technical term called DOM, document object model. So this is a basic of Angular. So we will see more. So as I discussed, Angular is an application design framework and development platform for creating efficient and sophisticated single page apps. Then another advantage of Angular is it's a cross-platform. So it can be designed for web, mobile, and desktop platform. So for mobile, we'll be using a framework called Ionic framework. So if you learn Angular, if you know Angular, then the same concept and 75% the syntax and the usage will be same like Angular. Only remaining few things like in Angular we'll be using some material icons, or Bootstrap will be using for CSS. So instead of using those, in Ionic we'll be having a different set of tools. For example, if we need a button, we will go for some tool or some icons like that. So it's a little bit different, but if you are learning Angular, then you can do you can develop mobile apps. So these are called hybrid apps. So why these are called hybrid apps is we can use this app for both iOS and Android. So this is another advantage. So cross platform is the advantage of using Angular. So next is we will see why Angular, because we'll be having a lot of frameworks. You would have heard about React and Vue other than Angular. So let's see. So in a web page, first I should have started with this. So for creating a web application for any UI, we need these things. We will go from traditional way. So initially we'll be using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So HTML defines the structure. So I will just give the introduction. If you are new to web application, then it will be helpful. So HTML will give the structure. So we will be telling the, for example, if you take this web application, what HTML will say is we will be having a tags to tell, for example, we'll be having a basic head and body tag. So inside the body tag, we'll be telling what are the things we should have. In case if it's a heading, we'll be using heading tag, and we'll be using some paragraph, we'll be using some paragraph tag for this. So it will just describe the structure. So it will be used to define the structure. Then we will go for CSS. So what CSS will do? So basically CSS will used for styling, like what is the font for this which we are using here, and like this background colors, and when I hover over, we are seeing something, some colors we can see in some application. So everything will come under CSS. So once structure is defined and CSS is defined, then what JavaScript will do? So JavaScript remaining functionality will be having like all the functionalities. So data will be getting from backend. So how will we integrate that backend to our application? For example, if I click this, some functionality will happen. So for that, we'll be writing those functionalities in the JavaScript portion. So this is how initially the web applications are developed. So main thing are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So the portion which you are viewing, so you will be using a web browser, whether it's a Chrome or Internet Explorer. So you'll be using a browser. So this is called a DOM. So document object model. So this we'll be seeing in the core JavaScript concepts. I just give an introduction of this to make you understand how Angular works. So we will start with Angular. So you can ask, we will be developing all the applications initially using JavaScript. Then why we are going for Angular? So while developing in JavaScript, we will be having many challenges. So to overcome those challenges, we went for jQuery. So jQuery was popular before Angular was developed, and before React, jQuery was a popular framework. So which will be used in, so this is one of the popular framework which we use in JavaScript. So to make it simple, if you are writing some 8 lines of code in JavaScript, then in jQuery made us to write using 4 lines. For example, if we click a button, then we have to call a function. So for that, we will need 8 lines of code. So for that, jQuery came, and if we use Angular, then the lines are still minimum. So for example, first version of Angular is AngularJS. So here we will be writing it in 2 lines. This is for an example. So you can imagine if you are writing more lines of code in JavaScript, and some features are not efficient, like a single page application is not in JavaScript. So in AngularJS only, they have introduced single page application. So every time they are improving, they are trying to improve the web application. So either for the user who are using, for them also it should be easy, and for developers also they are giving some comfort zone in developing the application. So like that it got evolved to Angular. So now we currently the majorly used 2 frameworks are Angular and React. So as I already mentioned, Angular is a framework. So here we will be having everything. And one more thing, here we are using a TypeScript. So you can ask, if you are already known JavaScript, then it will be better to go for React. But the main difference is React is a library. So it will take care of only view part. But in Angular, we'll be having all the MVC, model view controller. Then main difference is, if you already know Angular, if you know core React JS concept, you have to know all the core JS concept, and you have to be expert in this. Then only you are able to code in React. But in Angular, we'll be using TypeScript. And another thing is, Angular will provide everything. So I will also show a demo if possible in the end, so that it will be easy for you to now it will be simply theory. So in demo you will understand. And coming back to TypeScript, so I will tell you about the advantages of TypeScript. So if anyone has already having knowledge on OOPS concept, then it's same. So TypeScript is nothing but we are applying OOPS concept in the JavaScript code. So in the in Angular we are bringing the OOPS concept. So in TypeScript we will be able to code in OOPS concept. So that's a major advantage. Why it's advantage is, JavaScript we are having some drawbacks. We'll be having 2 types of type checking. One type checking will be done in compile time, and another in runtime. So JavaScript is run for example, if you are coding in C++ or Java, you will get all the most of the errors in the compilation itself. So you have to fix all the errors, then only you will able to build it into some or you will be able to run the application in Java. But in JavaScript, that's a drawback. It's everything will be in runtime. So the type checking is called dynamic type checking. So what will happen is, it won't show any errors. For example, even the syntax errors, if it won't show. So what will happen when you are executing the code, you will get all the errors, and it will be a burden for the developers. So only they introduce TypeScript. So in TypeScript, we'll be having a type checking, and it's called a static type checking. So here we'll be having a lot of advantage. So you can able to see from traditional to a way to developing in Angular, there will be a lot of challenges, and in Angular they are trying to overcome all the challenges. If you have any doubt, you can ask now, so that I will clear that one. I will move on to next slide. Hello. Am I audible, right? Hello. Could anyone reply, because I'm not sure whether I'm audible or not. Okay, thank you. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. So I will go on. I will move on to next slide.
Vignesh, you are audible on it.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So if you are new, then you must have known about HTML, CSS, and JS. So only I have covered that one. So now we will start with the presentation of Angular. So as I already mentioned, if you knew Angular, then you can also write hybrid apps using Ionic framework. Both are similar. So here, if you are using directives in Angular, then you can also use the same directives concept there. If you are using services, then so theoretically every features will be available as in Angular. So next is you will be having a doubt which version of Angular to start with. Before that, I will tell the difference between the two. So Angular JS and Angular, the second version, because it's entirely different. Angular 2 is entirely rewritten using TypeScript. So you can start with, my suggestion is you can start, no need of Angular JS now because it is going to get deprecated. It is first version of Angular written in MVC format. But Angular 2 plus versions, it will be of component based. So everything will be, we will be dividing into component. For example, in this, for example, I will show one. So if you are developing this page, so this is a Angular material web page. So if you are developing this page, we can make everything into a component. So majorly we can divide the screen. This one will be called a navbar. So this we can make this into a component. And then we can make this footer as a component, separate component. And inside this content, you can make a one component. Then what we have to do inside that content, we have to divide the screen into two, and we have to build a component. So like that we can have any number of components. The main advantage of building it as a component is if you are facing an error in a big application like Amazon or Flipkart. So if you are facing an error in an application, then you can able to take that particular portion, and for that we can go to that particular component, and then it will be easy for us to debug and fix the error. So these are the advantages of having it's a component based. And another advantage, as I mentioned, as it is written in TypeScript, we will be having uh, static type checking, so that it will be easy for us. If you are already a beginner, if you are a Java developer, then it will be easy for you to replicate the TypeScript. So it will be very simple. And coming to versions, we'll be having a lot of versions. So it will be like your mobile phone's Android update only. So if you are learning, you can learn any Angular. I will recommend Angular 4 or plus, because you can relate it easily like our Android updates. So every new feature will be added, or some of the old features will be deprecated, or some old features can be renamed. So like that only the updates will be. So you don't have to think that I have to learn. There are a lot of versions in Angular. So that's not the case. So you can take any version and learn, and then you can directly move on to the latest version. So if you're learning 6, and then you can, but you have to know what are the changes and the upgrades. Like in your Android mobile, you will be seeing the what are the new features you have to see. So those are the things are there here. So it's a little bit technical. So if you learn any one version, then you will be easily replicate with the current version. So currently we are having Angular version of 12. So for that only I have made these things. Next, we will go on to the features of Angular. So in features here, you can see components. As I mentioned, we'll be having we will be having the option to create a lot of components on our own. But for every app, you'll be having one main component. Then data binding features. So data binding features, it's a two-way data binding. So how it works is, usually in HTML, you will be having HTML will be called as a view. So in your view, for example, if you're having a form, so in that form, you have to type your name. So in that check in that input box when I'm typing the name. So when I started typing the name, what will happen? It's a two-way binding. So whatever we are typing in this view, so view is what the user will be able to see. So when we type this name, automatically in our TypeScript file. So here we will be having all the business logics in our TypeScript. So here we will be having all the logics. So what will happen is whenever whatever we type, it will automatically simultaneously it will get stored in some variable. For example, here I will be having some forms variable. So here it will get stored automatically. So likewise, what will happen if you are having a default value for example in forms, for I'm having some other data like forms, like name, I'm having some other data like hobbies. So if you are storing the value in this TypeScript file, then automatically it will rendered in your HTML view. So this is called two-way binding. So this is possible in Angular. Then we'll be having directives. The main difference between directives and normal functions. So if you are already gone through, if you are already known, or I will give one more example. For example, if you are having a button. So how this works? So we will be able to see as a user, you will be able to see a button in the web page. So when you click the button, then what will happen is it will go to TypeScript. So in TypeScript, for clicking that button, I will be having some function name. So it will trigger that function. So then it will do what's when we click the button, it has to do some functionality. So that functionality we will return in this function. So we will be having some function name. So this is done in the TypeScript file. Then what we will do, like normal functions which you have written in C++ or Java, we will be returning the value and we will be showing it in the view. So instead of using that, if we are using directives, we can directly use all the conditions, not all the conditions, some interesting conditions to make the code simple. For example, you can use the for, you'll be using for loop, right? So we can use it in our HTML tag itself. So for that, some syntax will be there. So like that, we can use our, and we can also use our own custom directives. So instead of giving it as a functionality or logics in the TypeScript, we can also directly do it in the HTML. So like that, we'll be having pipes. So pipes also same. We'll be directly, for example, in HTML, we'll be having, so getting started with Angular material. I want to make everything to caps. So for that, we are in Angular, we will be having pipes. We will be simply giving some syntax like this in the HTML directly. For example, this is our H1 and this is that getting started. So it will be in the HTML code. So here what we will do, we will add some filter. So we'll be adding some pipes like this and we'll be giving approximate uppercase or lowercase like that. Inbuilt pipes will be there. We can also able to write our custom pipes. So as I mentioned in the beginning, all the tools will be in Angular. Just we have to aware of all the tools. Then only we will know where to use and when to use, so that we can write a very few lines of code and we can build many web pages. So these are the important functionalities. HTTP, you can, yeah, like it's used to, we'll be in backend, they will be giving the REST APIs and the REST endpoints. So using this HTTP, we can, if you have any doubts, you can ask, I guess. Okay, so you are telling you are a beginner, you are not able to understand. Okay, so I will show it once in the web page. So now you are able to see my screen, right? So this is a web page. So whatever you are seeing, this is called a view. So now you are able to see the screen. So whatever you are seeing, it is called a view. HTML and CSS is nothing but they will blend along, so no issues. CSS is just for styling. So I will show how they are doing. One example, if you are new, for that only I'm showing. So as I mentioned, the DOM, you can If you are new, you can imagine the browser as a DOM. So this is your HTML code. So in Google, they are having a developer tool where you can view all the code. So for example, this is your, I have told, right, head and body tag. So in head, you will be having your style or that metadata you will be having for that a particular application. So in body tag, for example, I will take this one. If you want, you can select that particular. For example, I am selecting the component. So now you are able to see component. Remaining, if you are remaining things, it's all automatically generated by Angular, so it's not an issue. And styling, you can check it here. So what are the styles applied here? So here, so this is called a DOM. So so this is HTML and say CSS, and JavaScript will be there. So that interaction will be happen in the web page, and this is called a DOM. So if you are new, you can try to change the style here. So CSS is nothing but we'll be having few properties like color, border or something. So you can able to change the color. So when I change it to red, so here you can able to see it's changing. So this, so when you are learning new to Angular, so basics is enough. So basics of HTML, CSS and JavaScript is enough, because you will be going to learn a lot in Angular. So you will this one you can easily learn. So this is a basic concepts. So when I give color, you can give it color. So you don't have to worry about it when you are new to Angular. This one also you can learn easily. In a few weeks you can learn HTML, CSS, JS basics. So that's enough. So now you can see HTML and CSS. Now I will show here. You will be able to, in console, you will be able to check the document object model. So document is nothing but an object. So in document we will be having everything. So only it's called a document object model. Object is nothing but it's the same concept which we will be using in the OOPS concept. So for example, you will be having a lot of methods written here. So you can use everything. So these are the basic JavaScript. So only it will be very easy for you. So here itself, in console you can write all the JavaScript code. On mouse enter is the basic JavaScript for clicking on the mouse. On click also will be there. So you can go through this. When you are learning JavaScript, you can use this console as a tool. So all the functions you can work it out here. For example, this is a basic JavaScript. So I am creating an array. So for getting the length of the array, we will be having a method for length. So it will automatically throw how much length it is. Like that, we will be having a lot of, objects will be having. So everything is called as objects, but our root object is a document. So everything will come in this document only. So now you are able to see the web page for this. When I hit the document.url, so only it's called a document object model. I will move on to Angular. So if you are new, then it will have given some understanding for you. If you have any other questions, you can put it in the chat box. I will see. Then another thing is observables is a third-party package. So this is also very much helpful in Angular. So this is a major concept which will be very helpful. For example, asynchronous calls will be there. For example, if I am updating this portion guide content, then it will instead of disturbing instead of reloading every entire page, it's updating, right? So it is happening asynchronously. Like that, many examples will be there for asynchronous loading. So you can go through that also. Difference between synchronous and asynchronous call, or how this asynchronous concept works. So for asynchronous, if you already know JavaScript, then you will be already using a callback function. So if you are new also, you can go through this, what is callback function and what is promise. Yeah. Now, if you have any other doubts, you can you explain me again how DOM and OOPS are connected? Okay, so better I will show you how Angular works. So before that, I will show you how to install that one, and then I will move on to how this TypeScript oops concept and your doubts will be clarified. So so for Angular installation, you need a Node.js. So you have to install Node.js. It will be very simple. So you can download the latest version or any stable version. So you can download 14.17.0. If you click that, it will automatically give some exe file and you can download it. And one more thing, a Visual Studio Code Editor, that also you can search in internet and you can get it. So I have opened my Visual Studio Code Editor. Then for installing Angular, you need, so this is the command. So command prompt is enough. If you are newly learning, or if you will be learning some particular version, for example 4 or 6, then what you have to do, you have to give you have to mention that version. Then what will happen, it will automatically download that version in your machine. So if you are not giving anything, it will download the latest version, current version, what is available, it will automatically download. So this is the command. If you want any specific version, then you can mention it here at some version. For example, if you're learning 6, you can give 6.0.0. These are the versioning from the npm packaging, so you don't worry about that. Then what you need is you have to, after the Angular installation, you will be able to access the ng commands. So in the command prompt window, so this is also a command prompt window. So here I will type ng version. So when you are able to see the if you are able to access the ng commands, then you are good to go. Or else what you have to do, you have to set the path in environment variables for ng commands for Angular. So you can set the path for that. So now you are able to see the version. So what the current version I am using is 10.0.8, and it will also show the Node version. So Node and VS Code Editor and Angular installation command. So this is fine to begin with Angular. Then what we have to do, we have to install a new project, create a new project. So the command for creating a new project is ng new. You can type hello world for initial project. So anything you can type. So this is how our we will begin. So what I have created is ng new AP training demo. So I have created this already. I have created. So it will take some time. It will download this node modules. You are able to see, right? It will download all the packages you need. For example, we will be also having Babel, Webpack, many tools we will be having. I will try to cover as much as I can today. So I have downloaded it. So next thing, you have to run the app. So for that you will be using ngserve. Automatically in localhost 4200, your app will get hosted. If you want to change that port also, you can change. So as I have already started, so I will run the application. So this is the command to run. So when now I will explain what is this. So when you give ng hello world, what is happening is it is allowing us to create a boilerplate. What is a boilerplate is nothing but it's a initially we will be writing hello world, right? Like that it will give you a sample piece of code in which you can begin your development, and it will have all kinds of things like basic routing modules. It will provide. A routing module is nothing but when we are moving from one web page to another, we can use a routing module, so that automatically single page will be implemented automatically. So these are the features which is giving Angular automatically. This will implement that, and we will be having modules. components, directives, like that. Basic structure it will create. So I have created a new app and I didn't do anything. So other than that, I didn't do anything. So after running this one, you have to enter to this folder. So for entering, you can use CD for entering to this folder, which I have done already. So I am already inside. So if you see, I am already inside AP training demo module. So once you are inside this folder, hello world folder, then you have to give ngserve. So that's what I have given here. Now our application is up and running. So you are able to see it's downloaded few chunks of JavaScript file, and our application is ready now. So I will show. So when I load this one, whatever app name you are giving, it will automatically come here. And this is the default code which is written. It's in Angular itself. It is so if you are using old versions, then less code will be there. And it also helps us to proceed with the development. For example, if you want to learn Angular, some material they have already given. So Angular blog you can refer. Other than that, how to create a new component. If you click this, it will show how to create a new component. So this is a way command to create new component. And Angular material. So material is nothing but this is also a tool which we will be using. So that I will tell you later. Then PWA support. So PWA support is nothing but you will be developing a web page. So this is also a feature of Angular. So I will explain this alone and then I will go to the demo. So PWA is nothing but progressive web apps. For example, I'm having a laptop size, it's a small laptop size. So I am developing in this laptop. But when I am deploying the app, users, there will be many users. Some users will watch it in a TV, bigger inches TV, or some users will view it in the mobile. So for making the screen responsive, it will automatically do for most of the desktops, not exactly mobile, but most of the desktops of various sizes. We will be able to make the screen responsiveness. So most of the time it won't be aligned like this. If I am aligning the 3 like this, but if you are seeing in some other window, it will be aligned differently. So to avoid those, we can use this one. Another major advantage of this is you can view all offline. So most of the features, once you are viewing, for example, the website which I showed earlier need internet. If without internet we won't be able to access the application. But if you are creating a progressive web apps, then even if you are offline, you will be able to access the major modules in the application. So those are the main advantages. And these are the new features. So every feature is implemented in every version. For example, this feature was introduced in Angular 6. So like this, some few features will be there. But the basics which you are going to see is important. So the features which I showed in the slide, so those are the basics. For example, components, directives, pipes, services. So now I will show you how. Now I will show the how it works, and I will cover the questions which you have asked. So whenever you are starting this, this is the app component. You are able to see, right? So here we will be having your HTML file. So this is the HTML file which you have seen now. So this is how it works. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete everything. If I'm saving it, it will automatically show. So now I'm having it. So I'm not having anything in the web page. So, yeah. So now you are able to see. So you can develop your own screens and you can create your own components. And another thing is app module. So I will tell you how we have to see the code. So first thing what we have to see is main.ts. Like you will be seeing in many application, main will be the first file we will have to go through. So here what you have to notice, you have to check whether the app module is bootstrapped here. So then I will go to app module. This is an important module. So you can have many modules, but for basics, if you are doing basics means you can think it of a single module. And in this module, we will be having all the components. For example, if I create a new component for login screen, I will add that component here. So it will contain all the component, and it has bootstrapped our app component. So here we are, why we are bootstrapping it is, this is the main component which will be displayed first. So here when you are able to see, our component comprises of 4 things. One is, so app component is our root component. So these are the new terminologies. Now it will be new to you, but it will be very simple. So this is the root component. Then app module. So in this module we will be having all the components. So these are the major modules. Other than that, you don't need to worry. So if you are directly starting means you can type whatever you want in the app component. So app component comprises of few files. You'll be having HTML, CSS, TypeScript. So one more doubt you can have, if you are using TypeScript, whether I will be able to use JavaScript or not. You will be able to use JavaScript, but basic JavaScript you have to use. You should not manipulate the DOM. Like for example, DOM in the sense you could have seen document dot some function, on click will be there. So you should not directly hit the DOM. That's a rule here, because everything Angular will be taken care. If you learn Angular, you will understand how. Not Angular. So those features which I mentioned, you have to learn about components. You have to learn about services. You have to learn about routing, especially you have to learn about forms. So when you are learning this, like this, 2 more things are there. If you are learning this, you will know how the DOM is working and how Angular is providing all the features. Angular also provide one more features. It will automatically takes control of your HTML and it will do its thing. So for example, if basic HTML, you will have some basic functionality. What Angular will do is it will take that functionality and it will enhance it. So if you are including the for example, in forms module, you will be using, you will be importing forms module. So if you include this module, so everything it will be as a package. So only we are using this framework. So I will be including that module here. Then it will behave, the HTML will behave as a different thing, what Angular is expected to be, and it won't hit the DOM directly. For now, if it's confusing, no worries. You will learn in the course, you will learn so what is the DOM and how we have to handle the DOM. So you can check that. For now, the important thing you have to notice, Angular won't directly hit the DOM, and we should not hit, we should not use JavaScript to directly hit the DOM. So that's the main rule here. Because Angular, that's what we are going for Angular. You will understand why, because if you are after learning Angular, you will definitely have answers for all your doubts. So for now, I will try to explain the OOPS and the DOM concept. Still, I have explained as much as possible, but this is Angular session, so I will clear the one more doubt, that OOPS concept some person has asked. So before that, what I am going to do is, so this is the so we will be having HTML, CSS, and TypeScript, and one more file will be having .spec.ts. So what this file will do is automatically we can test our modules. Whatever code we are writing it here, we can do unit testing. So here the default test cases already they have it will automatically generate. You have to still enhance it. You have to write few more lines of code to perform your testing for your functionalities. So testing part you can learn it later. So as a whole, if you see, you will be having HTML and the corresponding CSS. For example, now I have written my HTML. So this is my HTML. So to include this CSS, I will give it in the app component. For example, I will target the So here I'm using H1, so I will target the H1, and I can so it will be like a JSON format. You will be having a open and close braces. JSON is nothing but you will be having a key value pairs. So whatever, so main advantage of using VS Code is if you are new to CSS, then you will be having all the suggestions here. And the colors also, you can use any colors you like. So when I save this, you are able to see the background color, and I will give the color as white. So now in the main component, so our root component is app component. So we have seen HTML and CSS. Now let's see how TypeScript works. To show this example, so initially I have told you about data binding. So now I will show you the demo for data binding. I will have so the same demo I will show. I will have an input box. So when you give the input box, you will have something to input it here. Okay, so now I will go to my TypeScript. So TypeScript here, inside this, you will be using like for example, so title is there. So here they are not strictly given the type. So if I am giving this string, then here I am doing that static type checking, which I have discussed in the discussed earlier. So here we are directly giving it giving it as a string. If you are using some other variable in a function, for example, I am getting some value for our login. I'm having some. So here I have to get only string data. I will define it here. So in the function, if I am passing some other value other than the string, then we will getting a error. So this error we will get in the compilation time. So this is a basic TypeScript which we will be using. Other than that, oops concept, it's already covered in the structure of how it's created. For example, you can also use other concept like interface, inheritance, everything you can use. But in basic stage, this is enough. So you have to know how to give a variable and how to define its type. So many concepts will be there like generics and so that initially for Angular that's not an issue. So for basic it's enough for now. Other OOPS concept, if you already know OOPS, you want to go use everything you have learned in OOPS, then you can explore more in TypeScript and Angular. So you can check it in the internet and you can check how we can use it. So we are having short time, so only I'm not able to cover everything. So we will continue with the data binding part. So here you are having app component.css, app component.html. So these two things we have covered. Then what I will do is I will bind this one. So title is nothing but a variable. So I will bind this title to our HTML so that we can display it in the input box. So I will give the title here and I will, so we will be having a keyword called ng model. So what this will do is it will automatically bind, but we will be facing an error too. So as I mentioned in Angular, everything it will be available, but we know how and when and how to use it. So for using this module, we have to import a forms module. So everything will be in suggestions, so no issues. So if I'm using forms module, and this is also a type of binding. So I am also binding the data here. So now you are able to see my screen. So whatever data is in this ng model, we can check it here. So for that only I have pasted it. For example, this binding has happened from our TypeScript. So this is a root component. So this is our TypeScript. In TypeScript, a variable called title. We are binding this data with the HTML. So now it will be clear for you. So for beginners, you can think it of the binding of HTML and JavaScript. It will happen in the DOM. So it will happen in our browser. So this is how you can imagine DOM. And if you are used to it, you will understand it as a object model, and you will able to access all the objects like document. So the document you have to remember as the root object in JavaScript. Like that, you will be having various objects which with the inbuilt functions. Like array example I have showed you. So using dot length, we have taken the size of an array. Like that, many basic JavaScript will be there. So those JavaScripts you can use in TypeScript also. I will also show one more example for that. Now we will be understanding. So interaction of HTML and JS in a web browser, you can imagine it as a DOM for now. Once you are learning, you will be having a clear picture of it. So no worries. So data binding, we will continue with the data binding. As I mentioned, it's a two-way data binding. Now we have seen TypeScript to HTML, app.ts to app.html. So from business logic, it's binded from business logic to view. So HTML is mostly called as view. So because HTML is the thing which we are seeing in the screen. So now if we are able to see, so whatever we are typing it here, we are binding it here. So this is one way. So another way is we will be able to bind the view to business logic. So how to check that one? So that also I will show. So if there is nothing here, whenever I am typing this, you will be able to see what it will do is it will redirect to component dot. So in this title, it will automatically store. So ASDF, it's stored in this title. Title is a variable in TypeScript. So now the binding is happening from view to business logic. So this is a basic example of data binding from both ways, two-way data binding. So this is one concept. Then I can show you one more. So as I have mentioned, so I will have a some array. Now I will show it in the HTML in the form of list. I will show. So in HTML, I have to show that it's in the form of list. So I will create a list. So here what I will do is, it's unordered list. I will use ng for. So you can use any enable. As I have mentioned, you can use a for loop here itself. So these are the built-in directives, and we have to bind it. So this will be simple. So instead of repeating every li tags, so I want to have this one 1 2 3 4 5. So instead of that, what I will do, this is a variable name called array. So I will have this array, and we'll be looping in normal C++ or Java, like we'll be having some IRJ, and we will loop like that. We can have any name here for looping. So here I'm having that name as A, and I'm going to bind it here. This is called one way of binding, and this is a one-way binding. If you are using this strings and binding, this is a one-way binding. If you are using ng model and binding, this is a two-way binding. So that these are the basics. So now you are able to see in the unordered list, I am having 1 2 3 4 5. Suppose you don't want to have 1 2 3 4 5 numbers, I want this as a string means, what you need to do is you can just change the array. So this is a simple example. Imagine if you are having a large data table with a large data, hundreds of data, then it will be easy for you. So you will create a sample table like this in your web page. It will be if it's a table means it will be have some few more lines of code, but data you have to map it efficiently. So like coding only. So now the entire data has changed. So this is how the HTML and the TypeScript are connected. So if you are using a new component, you will have a doubt how to use that one and how the CSS will be applied. If you are using a new component, that CSS will be applied only to those component. So that is also, I will show you one more example. So now I am going to create a new component. For creating a new component, as you have seen, so ng generate component. So if you want to type, you can type generate space component, or in shortcut you can use ng gc. So for now I will have some login component. So when you give enter, what will happen is it will automatically create a component for you. Component in the sense it will have HTML, CSS, TypeScript, and then a testing file. Then what you have to check is, as I have already mentioned you have to check for app module. So in app module, if you see, it got automatically imported. If you want, you can import it manually, or if you know the commands, the command will take care of everything. So it has automatically imported in the declaration. So you can have as many components as you can in the in this module. So now how to use this one? You have created a component, but I want to see that component in this page. But how to do it? So for that, so in the TypeScript you will be having a selector. So this is important. You will be use the selector as a HTML tag. For example, I will copy this one, app login, and in the root component I will use it. So if you are using a routing, then it's a different case. It's a basic example for a component creation and using a component. So I will copy this and I will paste it. So now I have included the component here. So to differentiate, I will have this tag. So if you see, this component is included here. So login works. Then to show one more example, so I will be having a same h1 here. So now you are giving some other style to that h1. So app.component.css is here. So in login.css, if you are giving some other style, and I am replacing it with. So now you see this CSS will work only for this component. So login.css will work only for login component. This CSS will work only for the main component, root component, app component. What if I want to give it as globally? So for that, what you can do is, we will be having one more styles.css file. So here you can have any global style, for example. So this is the entire body, means it's the entire web browser I'm selecting it. So for that I can give any background. So like this you can give any background and it will happen, it will appear globally. Not only this one, h1 also you can give some thing and you can overlap this what I have given. So for example, background color. So now it got overlapped. Okay, so we have to use this important tag to overlap, but this is the first preference which you are giving it in the individual components. So what we have seen is, I will summarize and then you can have, I can ask your doubts. So how to for installing Angular, what all we need? So Node.js and we have Visual Studio Code Editor and command lines for installing. You have to run the command in the command window. In CMD, you have to run the command. So after installing, you have to create a new project. For creating new project, ng new, you have to create type anything. So this will create a basic wireframe. So basic, it's called boilerplate. It will give every structure of the code. So in this structure of the code, I will add some more things. Other than the app module and app component, which you have to look is, you have to see angular.json and package.json. Angular.json is very much important because we will be using some more external packages. For example, here already you are having at Angular core or some packages you are having. So this at the forms module which I have included, you have seen, right? This is from at Angular core. Everything Angular provides, but it got automatically installed. If you are going for new libraries, for example, you will go for Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is nothing but it's a framework built on top of CSS to make CSS easy. Or you will be installing Angular material. So you can add, so these two files will come in handy, angular.json and package.json. So this is how it works. Then you can ask one more doubt. You know that our browser, web browser, understands only JavaScript. Vanilla JS is nothing but pure JavaScript. But how it is understanding the TypeScript file, how it is doing it. So how it is understanding the TypeScript file. So everything is Angular is taking care of. So for that only we will be having a package called Babel in node modules. So you will be able to see this one, Babel. So whatever packages we'll be using, most of the packages will be node modules. So what it will do is it will convert the TypeScript code into JavaScript code, so that our browser will be understanding so here we will be see so in console you can see our our code is understanding the JavaScript. So this is how that happens. TypeScript won't directly do anything in the DOM. The TypeScript we are using is only, it's for till the compilation end. Till the compilation end only those code will work. Then after that, when you're viewing it in the browser, everything is JavaScript. Then another thing you will be this is about Babel. So another important package which you should know, though Angular will take care, we should know a few basics. So you have to know about Webpack. Webpack also will improvise our code automatically, because when you are deploying, the size of the code will be more sometimes. We'll be having a lot of MB, so we'll be deploying it in a separate server. But in Angular, it will take care of everything. While deploying, we'll be running one command, ng prod, ng build prod. So we'll be running this command. What it will do is it will automatically convert it into chunks of JavaScript file. For example, here you can see. So in sources, it has converted into 5 files: main.js, polyfill.js, runtime, style.js, and Webpack here you can see. So this will do all the changes. It will automatically do the productivity in your code. So automatically these many features are there which you will learn later after learning Angular, but this kind of features is Angular doing. And one more thing what you can see is, so this is the code which we have typed. I will show that code. So that will be little bit different here. You will be having some ng content, ng host, ng content. This is because directly we won't be user won't be able to see the code, because initial application we will be directly able to see the code. We will be directly able to take the JavaScript files. So if you are taking the code, we can replicate the same application. So many security for many reasons, many features have been enhanced. So these are the two things which you can go through, and it will be interesting, Babel and Webpack. And like this, you can see many features which we will not be directly using, but Angular will be using for us. So main thing we have to know is how to identify the components, directives, services, pipes. So, and how to use it. The basic syntax will be there. For example, the code which I have showed you. So it's a simple example I have showed you, and so this is a basic syntax. So you have to look for the cases, and this is asterisks you are using. So why you are using asterisks for this logic alone? So these are the basic syntax which you learn in the course, and definitely you will be developing a greater websites. For example, this is a basic without I haven't used any bootstrap or anything. So I wanted to show Angular material demo also, so only I have taken this one. But after this session, you can explore this. It will be very simple. So you can go to setting up your environment. Sorry. You can go to get started. So in get started, so for first you have to do whatever which I have showed in demo for installing Angular, and then you have to do this one. So before closing this demo, I will show one more thing. So this will be very much interesting for you. So you can add this one. What this will do is it will automatically install all the Angular material dependencies. For example, initially when we are using Angular 4 or 6, we have to install one by one. So there will be 5 steps for installing. But here you can install it directly. So now it's installing. If it install, I will show the demo, or you can explore. You have to go to the components. It's like plug and play. You can use all the features. If you are developing a new web page, what you will do, you will need a nav bar. This is for example, if you want side nav, this will looks like if you click this side, some portion will come right in YouTube or some like this. Some it will move, right? So you can use this and you can do it. So it's a plug and play only. And you can also use everything, tabs, and you can use menu bar, radio buttons, and you can wonder what these stylings are. These are the basic standards from the UX. So nowadays in most of the websites they have become a standard, because initially everyone will have any unique designs. For example, for button, to style a button, everyone have their own designs. But what Google has done is they have provided some standards for the designs. So for that design, this coding will be there. So this is most widely used, and you will also heard of material icons. So this will also come in handy. So there will be lot of icons will be there. You can use any icons. For example, if you are using creating a login page, so you can take any sign up any icons here, and you can directly use in this material. So you have to give the name alone. So you can try these things out. So yes, already it's time. So if you have any doubts, you can ask, and you can try this on your own, installing material, and you can do the as plug and play. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Will Angular will substitute every other language? It's not a substitute. As I mentioned, you can also go for React. So those are the two things. Vue I am not aware of, but based on the community support and the major users using Angular and React. And substitute, I'm not telling this as substitute. Both will be used for creating web applications, and you will be able to create interface your backend, and you can create your own front end for mobile and every devices. For like web page like this, you can generate your own page. For example, if you are a student, then you can create your own portfolio. Like resume, you can create your own portfolio. Now I'm not having an example, so you can create. So for that, these are the two frameworks currently widely used, and both are having its own advantages and disadvantages, which I have discussed earlier. As I have mentioned, Angular has, for beginners, Angular will be very good if you are new. If you are already good in JavaScript core, if you are expert in JavaScript, because JavaScript concepts are important in React, and you have to look for everything. For example, for a simple routing, you have to look for one library. You have to install it, npm install. You have to install that library. And for advanced concepts, you will have Redux here. In Angular also, you can use Redux, but in Angular, as I mentioned, it's a framework. It will cover everything. React will cover only Vue. Remaining, you have to be very much strong in vanilla JS. JavaScript, it's a simple JavaScript. Then only you can do. But here you have to have a basics of everything. It will be fine. But Angular concepts you have to be strong. Then you can create the web pages easily. It will be look very good. It won't be, if you are newly creating a page, it won't look like that. So it will, Angular will guide you everything, but you have to know all the concepts in Angular, basic concepts. So like every other languages, basics are important. In Angular, those basics are very much important as it is a framework. So we know it's not like substitute thing. In front-end development, you can use any. Yeah, this is an important question. So is JS enough for web development? It's very much important because if you know very well HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, but currently in what the recruiters are looking for is they will ask you Angular or React experience only. They won't ask, though it involves HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. They won't ask you these basics. Maybe they can ask for you JavaScript basics. They might ask, but this has high demand currently in the market. So Angular or React developers are required in many applications. Every application you need currently, if everyone are using mobile, so for every application Angular or React. So it's definitely if you know Angular and if you have hands-on experience, you can definitely go. If you know itself, you can go. They will just check the knowledge of Angular. As I mentioned, if you are having it as a framework, you will learn everything, every core concepts. This is one more advantage. So you will learn every core concepts in Angular. If you are strong in those core concepts, then interview, they will 75% they will ask these questions. Only based on the experience I am telling, so they will ask this. But in React, you have to explore many libraries. So 75% every basics you should know. What are components? What are directives, services? Other than that, you will be having animations, basic testing, and every basic concepts you have to know, because everything is syntax. And today I have covered one concept in the 11. So data binding also I have covered. So this is data binding, that's it. And another thing what I have covered is directives, but basic structural directives. It's a technical name for which I have used for ng4. So these concepts are important. So 75% you can cover this, and hands-on experience is important because you have to develop like these web pages. So for beginners, it will be very much helpful. Any other questions? BCA, I'm not able to get the full form. Could you expand it? So if you have any other doubts, only few users have. And that one I am not sure, Bachelor of Computer Application, but you can learn in your interest. If you have any doubts, or if I have confused any topics, you can ask that again. I will take. Okay, thank you. All clear. Yeah, if you have any other doubts, you can ask. I am not sure about this one, Bachelor of Computer Application. You can check in the syllabus. I'm not sure. But if you are interested in doing it, you can do. Yeah, you can also, many freelance projects are also there in Angular. So definitely you can go through this course. Okay, if you have any other doubts, I can continue. Otherwise, I will hand over to Vignesh. Vignesh, are you there?
Yeah, Vignesh.
Yeah. Is there anything I should take, or
no,
that's it, right?
if everyone is good, we can carry on with the
Yeah,
next.
sure. Okay, more we use Angular.
Guys, you have any doubt?
So many websites.
Yeah, Vignesh, you carry on.
You are asking about the applications, right? More we use Angular in. So in many applications you see, we'll be using Angular. Many major applications. For example, Netflix is one of the application. So like that, many major applications are there. You can go through it in Google and you can search, but I'm not able to remember all. Yeah, basic JS is enough for Angular because we won't go in depth in JS. So that's what in Angular it will teach us everything. So for example, if you want a click event, if you want a button click, then in Angular they are having that function. So if you are learning Angular, you are having more advantages. You can clear an interview 50 to 75%. They will ask the entire concept. Additionally, they will test the skills, though they will after Angular they will test the skills of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But for learning Angular, basics is enough. Additional classes, this I'm not sure. I have to check with Vignesh. Vignesh, could you answer this one? If you have any technical doubts, you can ask.
Yeah, guys, if you have any doubts regarding the Angular, you can ask. Other like next classes or additional courses, we will talk later. We'll talk later this session.
Okay, if there is no questions, then okay. Thanks all for joining. I will ask Vignesh to continue.
Yeah, thanks, Vignesh. It was very wonderful session, and yeah, it was very good. And I hope everyone have got some knowledge from this session.
One more question, I will answer this one alone. As you said, Bootstrap is used in Angular. We can copy paste this contain from Bootstrap. Bootstrap is used in Angular means we have to install that library. For example, so are you able to see my screen? So we have to install it externally. Then you can use the features of Bootstrap. But one tricky thing is, so when I am installing Bootstrap, it will install the latest version. If you want particular 4 means you can go for at 4.0.0. In Bootstrap, what's the tricky thing is, we will be using all the CSS related features in Bootstrap. Most of the features we can use, but you can't use the features like JS. You can use, but it's not the wise way to do it in Angular because JS will directly hit the DOM. So you won't include the JS package. After installing this, what you will do is you will go to angular.json. So as I mentioned, angular.json will be there. So here in assets, in styles, you will be adding. So here after installing, I will add the path. So it will be here somewhere in node modules. So we have to mention that path. So in node modules, Bootstrap will be installed now. So you can find it in node modules and you have to give that particular path of the node modules. Like this you have to give. So you have to include only what I'm trying to say is finally you will be giving bootstrap.css. So only this you can use. So JavaScript you can't directly use, but most of the features you can use, like dividing the screens you will be using, right? So grid system, so everything you can use except JavaScript also. If you can do it in a hard way, but it's not advisable because Angular will take care of the DOM. So that's the only thing. Yeah, any other questions? Yeah, thank you, Vignesh.
Vignesh, one of them asking,
Okay.
they are asking whether is it easy to learn Angular if we know the knowledge of JS, CSS, and basic HTML.
Yeah, it will be easy. You have to, but you have to cover entire, right? Cover entire Angular concepts.
Yeah, but this learning JS, CSS, and all won't take much time, I guess.
Yeah, basics is enough. Yeah, so it won't take much time. HTML and CSS, now you have gone through some. You can see how it's simple. Only like this only it will be there. Additionally, few more CSS will be there, so it won't be an issue. And as you are using VS Code editor, it will give suggestions, so it won't be a problem.
Okay. One of them is asking, is it possible to make Windows application?
Windows application.
Yeah. Is it possible to make Windows application?
Windows application, I'm not sure. Browser related applications, we can do every applications. And once you are ready, you can also go through this one on like this. Many are there even in GitHub. You can host your application. Like you can create your own portfolio. For example, Netlify is there. There you can host the application and everyone can view yours. You can put it in your resume after preparing your portfolio like this in Netlify or GitHub also. Now it's there, I guess. But Windows application, I'm not sure. We can't. So for that, it's different. It's browser related applications and mobile also you can use. Yeah.
Okay, Vignesh, thank you. Guys, any other doubt, or else we will go move on to next session. It was almost 7:30. Any more doubts regarding Angular? If you don't have any doubt also, please post it as no, so that we will move on to next session. Clear. Okay. Please guys, please respond so that we can move to next sessions. Okay. Okay, Vignesh. So we will move on to next section. Thanks for your explanation.
Yeah, thank you, Vignesh. Thanks.
It was
all.
wonderful. It was a wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. So I will start the next session, which is students guide, which will tell us the teaching methodology we are using in ERP trainings. I'm going to explain about that. Please let me know once you can able to see my screen. Is everyone able to see my screen? Yeah. Okay. 1 second, guys. So we are using APT 5.4, which is our teaching methodology, simple learning methodology. APT, we call it as APT 5.4. Sorry, guys. It's simple learning methodology, students recall, creative explanation, fingertip materials, additional bonuses. Simple learning methodology. Every classes will be conducted for 75 minutes, and those 75 minutes was split into 6 sessions. Session 1 will be for 10 minutes. In that 10 minutes, yesterday's classes will be revised. And if you have any doubt regarding last session, you can ask over there. Session 2 for 20 minutes. That day topics will be covered in those 20 minutes. Session 3 for 15 minutes. Students should practice whatever the trainer or taught you on that day. You can practice in front of the trainer. Session 4 again 15 minutes. That day topics will be covered. Session 5 for 10 minutes. Students practice time. And we have a special session that is called students recall. Whatever the trainer taught you on above sessions, you have to teach him back to trainer. Why we are having that students recall session is, if you see the learning pyramid, if you demonstrate or discuss with others, you will get only 50% of the knowledge. If you teach others only, you will get 90% of the knowledge. In our AP training, we want everyone to get maximum knowledge of that particular technology. That is why we are having that recall session, so that you will teach back the trainer whatever they taught you, so that you won't forget the topic. You can easily understand, and that will be good for you. So that is why we are having this session. Creative explanation. If you open like in e-learning, e-coaching, collaborative learning, and virtual classroom, e-learning is whenever you search for any technology in browser or anywhere, you will get lots of online videos, audios, and everything you will get, but you don't know where to start. So in our training, we will provide you the class. Okay, so we will provide you the class through Zoom or Skype, and collaborative learning will be there. Others will join you, and we are having some separate forum so that you will discuss any doubt with the trainer anytime. And virtual classroom, that is the class will be conducted as online, like you guys are doing nowadays, right? You are taking a classes, college classes online, right? So the classes will be taken live and the trainer will teach you directly. Okay, so this all four together, and so all four together we are using in our AP trainings: e-learning, e-coaching, collaborative learning, and virtual classroom. OneNotes, whatever the trainer teach you, those notes will be taken in OneNotes app, and these OneNotes will be saved, and we will provide you the access for it. So every notes that trainer taught you, that will be saved, and you can access it anytime. Mind map, this is nothing but which will tell you how your mind works. So we will create mind map for every student. So this will tell how the students grasp the topics. So someone will be fast in learning, someone will be slow in learning. So according to their speed, we will take the classes. So that is why we are using mind mapping. More informations like class notes with pictures. Classes will be taken with pictures, pictorial representation, and diagrammatic flow explanation. And every whole training is taken in a single notebook, that is OneNotes. We will provide you the recordings of each and every classes. We will record the sessions and we will have videos in Google Drive, and we will provide you the access for that Google Drive. Class notes and documents will be given to you. Softwares, whatever softwares needed. If it is licensed software, we will provide you licensed software for particular time, 3 months or 6 months, according to the courses you are taking. Video recordings means the video recordings of the classes you are taken. Okay, the trainer will teach you online, but anyway, we will record the videos and we will share it later so that you can go through anytime. So that is video recording. We will provide you the live classes only. Additional bonuses like free interviews will be conducted, and we will help you to prepare resume, lifelong community support. If after you completed the course with us also, we will give any support to you. We will guide you to do any professional certification. If you want to do any certification outside external certification kind of thing, we will help you to do that. We will have Daksharat, everything we have. We have questions and all. So we will guide you to clear the certifications. And we will provide you the job links. We are contact with many people. So if any company is having any opens, we will provide you the job links for that. LinkedIn recommendation also we will give. We are having a separate page in LinkedIn. So if someone posted for any vacancies, we will recommend it to you there. So guys, any doubt so far? Okay, thanks guys. So we will move to next sessions. I want to show you some feedback, students' feedback. Wait a second. We have lots of students' feedback, but so far I have taken 2 feedback, and I will show you those feedbacks to you. I'm going to show you the feedbacks of the students who have taken classes with us. This is a US student review who has shifted their job from teaching to IT field, and we have provided the BP technology, that is Blue Prism. We have provided them that technology training, and she got moved from teaching field to IT field. So if you have any doubt, like you are some different kind of like non-IT student, and if you want to move to IT, means we will help you out. We will start every technology from basics, so that you don't worry about it. Like if you don't have any knowledge, also we will guide you. Okay. And this is the working professional review. this working professional got a SQL class from us, so he said it was worth to it. So these are the 2 reviews. We have lots of reviews. I don't want to waste the time, so just that I just show you the 2 reviews. And someone said, someone asked about the timings of the class. We will provide the class according to your convenience. Whatever time you are convenient, we will provide the classes for you. So our next session is offer session. I'm going to show you the offers which we are going to give today, and this is applicable for the people who joined today webinar. So whoever joined the webinar today, they will get this offer. Before that, let me show you the training model we are following. So we are having 2 type of courses. One is full course. Full course will be taken for totally 35 to 40 hours. And those we have 30 classes. Each classes will be for 75 minutes. And totally it will cover 35 to 40 hours. In full course, you will get end-to-end concepts. If you take Angular, you will get the end-to-end knowledge of Angular. You can create some own website by yourself. You will get a knowledge of that. If you take full course, you will get end-to-end knowledge concepts. And another training model is flash course. In flash course, we will teach you the main concepts, whatever is very mandatory and which will be asked mostly in the interviews. We will take those topics and we will teach you in that flash course. That will be for 10 hours, and this will be conducted for 2 days workshop. And if you want to extend the flash course also, we will extend it and we will provide you. So we have 2 type of courses, full course and flash course, and this is that. Any doubts in this course types, guys? Any timings or anything? And these trainings will be conducted at your preference time. Whatever time you prefer, we will give you the training on that time. The trainer will teach you in that time. If you want in the weekends only also, we will provide you the classes in the weekends only. Any doubts so far, guys? Cost I will show you in the next slides. Any doubts regarding the timings? Okay, so I will move to next session. Guys, if you have any idea about what is the course market price of Angular, have you asked any other institute about the course for Angular? Any idea? Guys, please respond. Someone is saying 30,000. Yeah, some institutes will take 30,000 for the Angular courses. Any idea, guys? Please, guys, we want your inputs. So mostly we have searched other institutes, and we found out like the course market price will be very high. It will be 30 to 40,000. The market price for this Angular course will be 40 to 48,000 outside, and Flash course it will be 10 to 15,000. This is live class, so it will be costly. So that is why the course price will be 40 to 48,000, and the trainer will teach you online. So this is others price. So if you see, we are charging in our AP Institute, we are charging 20,000 for full course, and Flash course we are charging just 8,000. So this is the price of AP trainings. So 20,000 for full course, that will be taken for whole week or whole month. It will be 1 to 2 months, and it will be 30 classes. So 30 classes means it will be, if you take 5 days in a week, so it will take almost 6 weeks. 6 weeks of classes. Full course for 20,000 and Flash course for 80,000. And there are some special offers we are giving for the people who attend the webinar. So I'm going to tell that the special offer is the full course is for 14,000 and flash course for 3,000 if you join the course in 1 week. If you join the course in 1 week, the full course will be given for 14,000 and flash course will be given for 3,000. So what do you guys think about this price, this offer? Is it good, or how is it affordable, or is it costly? You can give your comment. What do you think about the price, offer price? And we are giving another offer, which is for 1 hour. If anyone join the course within 1 hour today, they will get the full course for 12,000 and flash course for 1,500. This offer is valid for only 1 hour. Full course for 12,000 and flash course for 1,500. Is anyone interested to join this? This is the final offer we are providing, and this offer is applicable for only the people who joined the webinar today. Anyone interested, guys? You can tell in the chat box. Anyone interested, so that we will share the syllabus to you. If anyone wants to see the syllabus, just ping me. I will share the contact detail, so you can ping that number. We will provide you the syllabus of full course and flash course, then you can decide. Anyone interested, guys? If anyone interested, please ping that number. Okay. We will share the syllabus to you. Special bonuses are like, as I said before, free interview session, resume preparation, and we will guide you to professional certification and lifelong support. Special advantages like you can clear your doubts anytime with the trainer. Training at your preferred time. The training will be conducted at your preferred time. We will provide you the recorded videos of every sessions, and we will provide you the job links. So this is the salary reduction. If you join as a fresher, you will get maximum up to 3.5 lakhs. And if you have any external certification, you will get up to 5 lakhs per annum. So this is the advantage of having any external certification. So think about that, guys. one small step can change your life. This might be that. And I will share the feedback link soon. Please wait with me for 2 minutes. And if anyone interested to join any of the courses, we have almost 30 to 40 courses with our AP Institute. So if you want to join any courses, you can ping to this number and we will guide you there. Okay. And we are providing lots of offers. So if anyone interested, you can contact them. And if any of your friends or someone interested, you can refer us. We will provide you the referral bonus also. We'll provide you the feedback link shortly. So this is the feedback link. So kindly everyone provide the proper Gmail ID and phone number so that we will contact you and you will get the certificate in 1 week. So please wait for 1 week. So it is automation process and sometimes it will take it will come in 1 or 2 days. Sometimes it will take one week to 10 days. Please provide the proper Gmail, then only you will get the certificate. Like if you provide some wrong mail or mail ID something and all means you won't get the certificate. And this is automation process. So if you provide the proper Gmail ID, you will get the certificate for sure. If you didn't get the certificate means you are not provided the proper Gmail ID. So please provide the proper Gmail ID with @gmail.com kind of thing. Okay. Thanks everyone. I will wait for 4 to 5 minutes for everyone to complete the feedback form. Then we will wind up this call. Please provide in the feedback link. Don't provide in the chat box, guys. Don't provide your Gmail ID in the chat box. Provide in the feedback link. So this is the feedback form. Please provide your feedback over there with proper Gmail ID. And in between, anyone is interested to join any courses with us. Anyone is interested, guys? And in our institute, lots of people who has joined the courses, they are almost got the job easily. Okay, so don't think about that this is 14K, but you will get the job and you can get that money in 1 or 2 months. So that won't be difficult. It's a live class and whatever doubts you have, you can ask the trainer. So it is not like a recorded video. Like you can't ask any doubts. It's a live class and you can ask any doubts and we will provide you the recorded videos of the session you attended. So think about that, guys. So we have lots of students who got job after taking course with us. Most of them will got the job. And the trainer who taught you the masterclass today, they will be the trainer for you. So you know how you taught, how we taught. So that will be advantage for you. Okay, everyone. And thanks, Vignesh. It was a wonderful session. And I'm going to end this call. And thanks, everyone, for joining. I'm going to wind up this call. Thanks, everyone. Have a happy weekend. Thank you.
Thanks all.
Thanks, Vignesh.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.